Well, you just witnessed the installation, the coronation, the anointment of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Neither one received a single citizen vote. So the Soviet anthem was definitely appropriate. Both admit to being socialists. They don't hide it. They're not embarrassed by it. They relish it. Let's look at Kamala Harris's record. She was appointed border czar. She wants to fund health care, food, housing, and lawyers for illegals. She said that an undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. She wanted to abolish ICE and equates ICE with the KKK, defund the police, confiscate firearms. She funded bail for the 2020 BLM Antifa rioters, and I'll show you another slide on that a little bit later because Tim Walz definitely was in on that. Wanted to ban fracking, eliminate private health insurance, and eliminate the filibuster to pass the Green New Scam. And of course, now she's saying, it never happened. I never did it. Where are you getting this from? It's all documented. The videos are there. And I posted these on Twitter, X. It's no laughing matter that she would be a disaster to protect this country. Do you think that Putin and Xi and the Ayatollah and Kim Jong-un are afraid of her? She's a joke. They want her to be president. The reason Putin made this deal with Gershkovich the other day is because he wanted to get this done before Trump becomes president. And he thought also that it would help Kamala Harris become president. I hope it doesn't. Back in 2020, May 27th through 29th, BLM and Antifa set Minnesota on fire, especially Minneapolis. Tim Walz was governor then. He still is governor. He held back the National Guard, told them to stand down because he wanted the buildings to burn. 1,500 buildings, $500 million in damage. The mayor of Minneapolis pleaded for Walz to send in the National Guard, and he wouldn't do it. The other day, I was reading on X that his wife, Walz's wife, says she misses the smell of the burning buildings. And Kamala Harris was supporting this Minnesota Freedom Fund to post bail for the criminals who did this. So the two of them together, burn, baby, burn Minnesota. They deserve each other. But we don't deserve them, do we? So this whole episode is about Harris and Walz destroying America. That's exactly what they will do. You saw all the people in Philadelphia cheering for them. What in God's name are they cheering for? The destruction of America. I'll bet you the typical person sitting in that audience didn't know anything about either candidate. And as I said before, people aren't voting for Kamala's record. They're voting for melanin and gonads because Democrats are infantile. They have childish emotions. They'll literally vote against their own best interests. Let's look at Tim Walz. In Minnesota, he passed a law, signed into law. Parents can go to jail if they object to mutilating their own children. That's right. They call him Tampon Tim because he installed tampon machines in boys' lavatories, starting in the 4th grade. I've never met a 4th grade boy who can menstruate. Have you? It's a sanctuary state for illegals. Illegals get driver's licenses. And as I said before, he supported the BLM and Antifa riots. He changed the state flag to resemble Somalia's. He wants 100% carbon-free electricity by 2040 in Minnesota. That isn't even possible, but that's what he wants because he's a Marxist socialist. He set up a COVID snitch line to let people rat on their neighbors. So if you saw somebody out in the street during the COVID lockdown and he wasn't wearing a mask, you could call this hotline that Tim Walz set up so you could rat out your neighbor. And as he said during that white dudes for Harris Zoom call, one person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. Are these the people you want running this country? Or should I say, running it into the ground? Because that's exactly what they would do. Both of them are liars. Both of them are evil. I hope you will read Duped Again, Why Sophistry Works. You can get it at dupedagain.com. Learn all about why people lie and why people believe and accept lies. And everything coming out of Harris's mouth and Walz's mouth is a lie because they keep talking about what a bright future we will have if you elect them. But it will be a dark future. It will be the end of America. So think twice when you get that ballot, either in the mail or if you go to the polling place on November 5th, think twice about pulling the lever. Trump represents freedom and capitalism. These two represent socialism and autocracy. That's right. This is Marc Rudov. Find me at marcrudov.com. Until next time.